up, y'all? Okay, we got two stories that we're going to talk about. We're going to first talk about Kyle from the Neighborhood Talk, addressing, Mob Radio. They have a situation going on. I believe it is a beef. We're able to talk to both parties. So we're going to talk about Kyle from the Neighborhood Talk and Mob Radio in the first segment. Then the rest of the show, we will talk about Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj husband, alleged victim speaking out. Okay, but let us first get to Kyle from the Neighborhood Talk and Mob Radio, because I was literally sitting down minding my own business when I get a message and say, "Hey, Wiley, did you see this? What's going on with Kyle from Neighborhood Talk?" I'm like, no, I'm trying to scramble and get this Nicki Minaj story together. But I said, hey, okay, well, let's take a little detour really quickly and let's dive into this story with Kyle in the Neighborhood Talk, and let's dive into my radio. So Millie was live on her Instagram, and Kyle came on there, and this is what Kyle had to say. All right, let's press play.
What? You weird.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? No.
20 people have said you calling me a pedophile.
They said what?
I don't know you.
I
don't know you.
Don't get on no motherfucking live telling me about what somebody said, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Girl, I don't know you.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You are
Because I
fucking
know you're
weird.
gonna get up on my motherfucking live with this. Let me tell you what I'm
I
telling
did,
you. You a
I
pussy
did,
ass
yeah.
nigga, dog. You's a pussy ass nigga. Thank you for getting up off of here. Kyle is so motherfucking pussy that he would even come over here after he done blocked me on every motherfucking live, coming over here trying to talk. I don't even know what he's talking about, but he coming over here with this rah-rah shit. First of all, what are you talking about? You gonna come over here sound. You gonna come over here acting like you got some sense. What?
You weird.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No.
20 people have said you calling me a pedophile.
They said what?
I don't know you.
They said what?
I don't know you.
Don't get on no motherfucking live telling me about what somebody said, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. What are you talking about?
Girl, I don't know you.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You are
Because I
fucking
know you're gonna
weird.
get up on my motherfucking live with this. Let me tell you what I'm telling you.
I
You a
did,
pussy ass
yeah.
nigga, dog. You's a pussy ass nigga. Thank you for getting up off of here. Kyle is
All right. So me being the reporter in this story, because I like both of them. Okay, I like Kyle from Neighborhood Talk, and I like my radio. Okay, Millie, I love her as well. So I had to reach out to Kyle because I heard something. He said something that you said I was a pedophile, or I heard that word, and I said immediately my antennas went up, and I said, okay, let me do a little bit digging in this situation and reach out to Kyle. So I'm gonna play what I sent to Kyle for the owner of the Neighborhood Talk. I've actually sent him this voice note. Hey, brother, do you want to talk about this situation that's going on with Millie, or do you not want to talk about it? Where you're headed with that? And this was his response. This was Kyle's response.
I have nothing to discuss about that. I have nothing to say about it at all. She just needs to leave me alone. She sits over here and she acts like she doesn't know why I don't like her. Then they in the comments saying it's because of Tasha. It has nothing to do with Tasha or anybody. That girl jumped in a beef that had nothing to do with her. And for that reason, I don't fuck with her.
All right. So y'all heard that. Right. That was just I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play Kylie's response again. Let me give you a little bit detail of what's going on in this situation.
I have nothing to discuss about that. I have nothing to say about it at all. She just needs to leave me alone. She sits over here and she acts like she doesn't know why I don't like her. Then they in the comments saying it's because of Tasha. It has nothing to do with Tasha or anybody. That girl jumped in a beef that had nothing to do with her. And for that reason, I don't fuck with her.
All right. So something about Kyle underwears that he have, and someone sent Kyle this message I said I definitely heard her say it, and if you go to her live chat comment, you see me posting saying, I know you ain't talking about Kyle from the neighborhood talk. And she said, yeah, y'all ain't have a problem with Kyle was on them clappers of that 17-year-old boy. I heard the shit word for word, Kyle and clappers. Who else could you be talking about? I love Rob, but Millie makes it her business to insinuate whatever beats Ra has and continuously bring random people into shit. So that was the message that someone brought to Kyle, and so Kyle went off on Millie, and that's why they clash in that beef. Now, I'm not taking any sides with this situation, okay? But he did send me a DM of Millie of the time stamp of her talking about the situation when she was in the video. It was academics allegedly fired and Rihanna, ASAP Rocky, Summer Walker drummer, and it was a time stamp in that video where she mentioned Caillou at the 2-hour 23-minute mark and 34-second. That was the mark where she mentioned Caillou and the underwear with a 17-year-old, right? So I think Caillou is really going off. Now, Millie is in the chat, so if Millie want to respond to this situation, she can respond to the situation. And the reason why I want to jump on this story is because these are two African-American bloggers. One own and operate an Instagram blog, and another one own and operate her own YouTube blog, as well as her station head as well. So I wanted to dive into this because they have been beefing for a long time. This is nothing new with Kyle and Millie. They have been beefing for a long time. So I would love to have both of them to come on and defend their name and to see why they're talking, why they're at each other's neck. Okay, so before we get to the Nicki Minaj piece, I'm gonna get into this first because they went at it and Kyle went at it, and I don't hear Kyle really cussing like that. But hey, this is the Wiley Show, and I think we have Millie on the line. Millie, you live on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Wiley?
I'm doing good. Listen, I'm in the bed sleeping and waking up to all hell broke loose.
Okay, let me tell you what happened. So we're sitting up here doing a show like we do every morning, Monday through Friday, and we were discussing originally the Nicki Minaj, Kenneth Petty situation. So you're about to get into that, and you would have a more updated version of, event because more receipts have come out, they said. But at the time when I was recording, we're talking about the video that came out, which branched off into a conversation about how people sit up and still uplift and have relationships and praise people who have, presented questionable behavior. So I actually have the actual clip so that you can hear exactly what I said.
Okay.
So that there will be no question about it. I was accused of calling him a pedophile. And when I asked him, did he hear it? He couldn't answer that question. He said people told him. I said, don't you ever come to me about something that people told you. And don't you ever disrespect a Black woman when you ain't had that energy for Belcalis Almonds or that threatened you. I have no respect for him. I just listened to that message he sent you where he said she wonder why I don't like her. I ain't never asked you why you don't like me. I don't care about anything you got going on. So I wonder why you don't like me. I don't give a damn what you like. I ain't never asked you why you don't like me. But let's get into the accusation. He said I called him a pedophile. Listen to this. Oh, yeah, take it down. I'm so out of here. This bullshit. Yeah, they said don't forget Kyle and the Clapper. When NLE Chopper, who's 17 years old, was in his drawers running in his backyard, they was over there sexualizing that boy. Kyle and the Clapper. That's exactly what I said. Now, if you go to my story or if you need me to DM you the post, I can. It's now removed. But I will send you what Kyle posted on his blog. You can find the thread on Lipstick Alley, and you could, if the post was still up, you would see the comments where people had a problem with Kyle posting him. I just sent it to you via your DM.
Okay. And so this person that you're sending me is a 17-year-old in his underwear, but that does not, I want to make it clear to the viewers, right? That does not make him a pedophile. I just want to make that crystal clear.
No, and that's why I never use that word.
All right.
That's why I never use that word when I referenced him. because I'm the same person that says we have to be careful with what we labeling people as. I'm the same person that's corrected people and said, stop calling everybody a pedophile. Statutory rape is one thing. You know what I'm saying? Different situations are different. Everybody is not a pedophile. So I'm very careful, actually, when it comes to shit like that. So under no circumstances did I call him a pedophile. Under no circumstances. And so when I said what I said, as you look at that post, NLE Chopper is a rapper. At the time that was posted on September 5th, 2020, he was 17 years old. If you read the caption, it says, NLE Chopper showing off his little garden and baby clapper. Y'all going over there to get some vegetables? And a host of people had a problem. And Kyle said it was fake outrage. And he didn't delete the post. And he is in his backyard in his underwear with his behind facing us. If a straight man had posted a picture of a 17-year-old girl in her underclothes and said with her baby clappers, there would be a problem. So what's the difference? I said what I said and I stand on it. So Kyle let people put a battery in his back and he came to my live with some bullshit is what he did. He made an ass of himself. And then he revealed what his real problem was. His real problem was what I had to say about him from back in the day as it pertains to the Nicki Minaj situation. And that's what he referenced when he messaged you back.
Okay.
She acts like she don't know why I don't like her, but she inserted herself in some beef that had nothing to do with her.
What did you say about the Nicki Minaj so the viewers that are listening now can be updated on that? What did you say that really got him with that?
I can't speak for him, so I don't know what his exact issue is. But if you were to ask me, yes, and I would tell you my version of events, me and Kyle were cool. I did commentary because Kyle went to an episode of Queen Radio and he said Nicki had, in essence, food and water for me. And then he said that he had waited to go and do his part, and then that was pretty much it. I said, you leave food and water for a dog. He made it sound a particular type of way. He got on YouTube and we talked about that on live, cleared it up. He didn't like what I was saying. We cleared it up. We were fine. The issue, per my perspective, where it became between me and him is when him and Tasha K did a live and Tasha K was talking down on me. He didn't say anything, but he was sitting there kind of snickering a little bit, but he was just sitting there. You know, they were, you know, she was doing her thing. I said, oh, okay, tell me how you really feel. Because if I fuck with you, we're not finna do that because this isn't business. This personal, like whatever her problem is, what does that have to do with anything y'all doing? So when that happened, and we go from there, it's a tumble effect. And don't forget that when me and Kyle got into it after my Twitter got suspended, he went and made posts about me. Remember the Walmart Target issue?
I remember that.
When I said the shade room is like Target and then the other shit is like Walmart. He got upset about that and went on Twitter and was talking crazy. Okay. And then that's when Tasha came back and said, leave him alone, basically. I don't even have custody of my kids. Do y'all remember that? So this is what I'm talking about. He playing crazy. No, he be around fuck shit. And the shit about Nicki that he's mad about, I showed text messages between him and Ra Ali, and I said he was begging to get in Queen Radio. And I showed the fucking receipts. He did. So he don't like it. He said if I had a problem, I should have hit him up. I don't need to ask your permission to go run with the store. I said, Kyle, that's your problem. You mixing business and personal. I said, how do you run a blog where you post people shit? And of course, they're not going to like it, but you have a job to do. Nicki, he said I inserted myself in somebody else's beef like Ra Ali is not a talking point. Anything that has to do with Ra Ali or Nicki Minaj or whatever else, that's a talking point. Is he inserting himself in shit that don't have nothing to do with him when he posts on his blog? No. Before I got affiliated with Ra, I've done commentary on Ra. But now that I have a relationship with her, now you jumping into shit. I didn't jump into anything. She just provided me a receipt.
Okay. So
that's it.
Okay. So I want to clear up with the pedophile piece that you never said that. I think that
I played the clip. He sent you the timestamp,
right?
And you can go listen to it on your own. So you know.
So I did see the post.
It's on my YouTube page.
He did
never said it.
He did take the post down of the young man in the underwear. He took the post down. But as of right now, when y'all went back and forth in there, he seems he was really cussing you out. So as of right now, you
and he got cussed right back the fuck out.
Y'all were cussing each other.
He started cutting. Guess what I did? Guess what I did, Wiley?
Mm-hmm.
I said, when you can come correct, you can come back on my live. Because you don't come in my house and think you finna talk to me crazy. I don't care who you lay down with. I don't care who you lay down with. When I'm sitting on my platform and I'm talking my shit,
okay,
whatever I got to say about a man, if a man has a problem with what I had to say, I got to come at him like a woman because I can't come against that man physically. So I don't do that. In real life, I don't come at men like that. When there was an issue with our mom, what did I say? He can't handle conversation with me if he got played, my nigga. Because per the type of energy that was coming off, if you have an issue that you want to get riled up about, I'm not going to do that with you because I'm a woman. So when Kyle gets on my live out the gate, keep my name out your mouth. Ain't nobody scared of you. What is that supposed to mean? Or is that, what are you talking about? But this is what I'm talking about. We're not peers because you get fucked in your ass. That's what I mean. And I don't like how, because men they feel like they identify more with women. I don't know what. You feel like you can come at women like that. I didn't respect that. Kyle had to request my live 4 different times. Because I had to say, nigga, you're not coming like that. Come correct. And when he came correct and he could have some type of conversation, that's when he was allowed to stay. And we could talk at least a little bit. And I was trying to get an understanding of his issue. I don't have any qualms with somebody addressing me about something I said. When I speak on you, you have a right to say, I don't like that. And this is how I feel.
Right.
But we gonna do it a certain type of way. He got on Instagram showing out is what he did.
So for the people that are just coming in,
and he made a fool of himself.
Okay.
He made a fool of himself.
With the people that are just coming in, this is Millie. She and Kyle is pretty much beefing. Now, Kyle is from Neighborhood Talk. If you don't remember him, he used to write for the Shade Room, etc. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. But when I'm saying here, Millie, I want to ask you: is there any way that y'all can have peace between each other, as you could just reach and do an olive branch and say, hey, I should never posted or responded to that post that you wrote? Like, is there any way that y'all can try to resolve that? Because I think that's the major point.
I would never apologize for something that I did with sound mind and body. I did what I wanted to do, and I stand on that because I will always say that I don't like 17-year-olds and under.
Okay.
And I really don't like people too much older than 18-year-olds who are still teenagers and children to me. I don't like them being put out like that. So no, I'm not sorry for that. Can we become amicable? I'm a very reasonable person. Got a lot of sense. If you want to talk and iron some shit out, that's fine. But once again, he jumped out the window. He jumped out the window with this shit.
Okay, I hope that y'all can resolve this. I don't think Kyle is a pedophile. He did take down the post because that narrative, you already know, when you're a gay man, they put that out there like it sticks. So I just hope that you all can come to, at a peaceful.
And I would never do that to a gay man, straight man, any man.
Okay.
Never. Which is why we have to be particular about those things. And I can understand someone being triggered by thinking that was said about them. No one would want to hear something like that about themselves. That's fine. But when you're an adult who went to college for journalism and you don't even go and do your own research, we have a problem, baby. I asked this man, did you hear it yourself? Because I never said that. Well, they told me. You too grown for that. You're going to have to make sure that when you're coming up against somebody that you know what you're talking about. And the whole time I'm telling him, you don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say that. He just, yap. You know what I mean? And once again, where is this type of energy for these other people that came forward and literally disrespecting him and threatening this man? Where's that energy? But we come back to our own communities and we disrespect the people that make up those communities. Make it make sense.
Well, like I say this, I hope, because both of you all are talented, right? And I just hope both of y'all can come to at a peaceful place.
Me and Kyle don't even do the same shit.
Okay.
Kyle is a good writer, and I enjoy his blog. Kyle doesn't do what I do. So we're not even comparable. I don't have a blog.
Okay.
I do commentary, and I host a radio show.
So I understand.
How are we even peers in this instance?
I hear you. So when Millie,
and let me ask you, Wiley. I sent you the post, so I know you saw it.
I did see.
Did I lie?
No, you did not lie. I clearly see the post, and I see the post of the young man in the underwear, right? And he's 17 years old. Me personally, I don't think Kyle thought that was an issue. You know what I'm saying? But I think when people look at the age, it's, oh my God, this is wrong. So I just think like, hey, he took the post down. You know what I mean? You know,
Right.
you know, he took the post down in that regard. But in this situation, I feel like a lot of people were putting words in people's mouths because you didn't say pedophile. I didn't hear you say the word pedophile at all. You know what I mean? I just think that, you know, people, when they send information, sometimes they put, you know what I'm saying, extra stuff on it. And so I just hope, like I said, that you and him can, you know, resolve your issue.
And anything is possible.
Yeah.
He has an issue because when we were on that live, he brought up some shit from months ago.
Okay.
In my opinion, Kyle should get that publicly. I think that his aim was to get on that live and clown and high cap and show out. Okay. It backfired on him. He should have come like an adult. And he's been harboring this problem, obviously. Like he brought up to you and like he brought up on my live. If it's sitting on your chest like that, then just come and have a conversation. He got me blocked on his pages, but he comes through the Neighborhood Talk Inc. and requests my live. You look crazy right now. I had to ask this man to put his face on camera because I didn't even want to believe that was Kyle. This person was just acting such a fool that I said, can you show me your face? Let me make sure this is even you. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that.
And then he tells me, I don't know if y'all heard the clip. He says, and I can't wait till I see you so I can give you the rundown on Nicki Minaj. What are you talking about? I said, Kyle, you having an out-of-body experience, right? You're just saying shit now. But if I take what you said and I make something out of it and I run a headline, now you're going to be upset. You done made shit too easy now. He writes for the Neighborhood Talk, then just write for the Neighborhood Talk then.
All right.
You don't fuck with me. Somebody said if I said something, don't worry about it. Then he said he gonna sue me.
Okay.
He done went and wasted his lawyer's time because he going off of a lie. Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
They want to believe it. You know what's sad? When people allow you and they want to believe it about you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you can definitely identify with that. When somebody will say some crazy sidebar shit about you.
Absolutely.
And because somebody want to believe it, they'll take it and they won't even check.
They want it. They don't
even be the check.
No, they won't even fact check it. They won't even do it. My situation, you know, it's rough out there because people will say stuff about you and hey, it is what it is in this business, unfortunately. Like we're about to get into Nicki Minaj's husband. So while we have you here, do you want to make a statement on it? Because I know you are a supporter and a fan of Nicki Minaj, but what is your situation? And before I play the audio clip of this woman that said she was raped by Nicki Minaj's husband, Mr. What? Was it Kenneth Petty? Is that his name? That's his name? Yeah. So what do you have to say about that as a woman? What is your take on this situation?
What I have to say about it is I was getting, as I'm sitting up on live, people are saying, oh, she presented some receipts. She presented some receipts. Like I said, I go on at 9 o'clock in the morning. Per what I've looked at, when I've looked at that situation and moving forward, I just feel like there are certain things that need another, look. They need to be another look taken at it. I think we have cases like the Central Park 5 and other cases where, you know what, this may not be what it seems, so let's go back in. I've never shied away from that. That's exactly how I feel. When that woman came forward and said what she said, she had a lot of inconsistency. Her testimony in that video, not anything that's come up afterwards, but her testimony in that video does not match up with the court documents, the paperwork, and it doesn't match up with what she told Candace Daytime Tea Time last year when she gave an interview. So there were some inconsistencies there, which made me ask questions again. I'm questioning the timing of everything, considering the ex-best friend that came out seemingly trying to extort Nicki Minaj and them. Nicki obviously coming out saying she got a new campaign coming out. It's a lot of stuff that people throw out into the atmosphere to try to bring her down. He goes to court in February. They'll decide what they want to do, if they want to take him off of the registry list. In terms of any stuff that she's shown since then, I haven't seen it. So at the end of the day, I'm rocking with Nicki Minaj.
All right.
And congratulations to Petty on that new baby.
Right, congratulations on that. So I'm gonna play the clip. I just thank you so much, Millie, for coming on, and thank you for allowing me to
Thank
share
you.
this
Thank you.
story.
You
And
enjoy your show. You do your thing.
thank
And
you.
thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to send you your custom money.
Okay. All right. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Millie. Okay. So now we're going to talk about Kenneth Petty, and we're going to talk about this Nicki Minaj husband. So let me first and foremost say this. I'm going to have an open mind. I'm going to listen to the clip of this situation. Okay. This is the first time you're hearing this clip. I did not listen to it. So I said, hey, I want to listen to it with the viewers. So a little backstory on this situation. Nicki Minaj husband, Kenneth Petty, he did rape someone and he's on the sex offender list. Okay. So I don't know all the details regarding the case, but this alleged victim is speaking out right now. She did a video, and so this is what she had to say. Let's listen to this clip.
I feel like even though it's something that happened 26 years ago, I'm still living with the effects now. On September 16th, 1994, it was a Friday morning. I left my home on my way to a city bus stop, headed to school. I was going to John Adams High School at the time in Queens, New York. And I was met at the bus stop by Mr. Kenneth Petty. At the time, I knew him as Kenny. We grew up in the same neighborhood. My mother and his mother used to run the streets together. His uncle worked at the local tire shop that was there on Rockaway Boulevard. I didn't know his whole family, but there was a few members of his family that knew me and my brothers because of who my mother was. On this day, I went to the bus stop and Kenny was there at the bus stop. He asked me where I was going. I said I was going to school. I asked him where he was going. He said he was going to school. I said, you're lying, because I never knew Kenny to go to school. Kenny was a bum. He was a street guy. He was a dude that was always standing on a street corner. He was hanging out with street dudes. That's what I knew him for. I knew him as a street drug dealer. Unfortunately, this day ended up really bad because he forced me into his home. He violated me. And granted, this was only 3 blocks away from my house. I chose not to go home because I figured if I went home, nothing would get done. And I knew the kind of friends that Kenny hung out with, and I felt like they would feel that they could do the same. So instead, I ran to school. My clothes was messed up. My hair was messed up. I had a cut on my face and I had a cut on my stomach. And I told the officers there at the school what had just happened. They called for more police. They put me in a police van. They asked me if I could show them the location where it happened. I took them to the location, which happened to be his house. I did not know it was his house at the time. I had never been to his house. Kenny was still there. He got arrested. They took me to the hospital. I had to do a rape kit and everything. They took my clothes. They took everything from me and put it in a paper bag, and they seized it. When I got home, I was told, sorry, you got raped, but you should have screamed. Hence the reason why I didn't go home to begin with. When all of this happened, I was living with the foster family. And because I was living with the foster family, they didn't want any issues and they didn't want any problems. So they listened to whatever Kenny's parents said. Kenny's parents showed up at my house. They spoke to the lady who raised me. They told all kind of lies and said that I was dating their son, which I didn't even know Kenny's dad. I didn't even know who he was, but he claimed he knew who I was. The amount of stuff that I went through at that time, I literally had to get out of the state of New York when I was 16 years old in a hurry because people was threatening my life. They was threatening my little brother's lives. I had issues going on in the house within family members because they felt like, what made me so special to where I get to press charges against somebody who violated me when, in most families, there are secrets and there are things that are covered up and hidden and not talked about. And usually sexual assault is one of those things. I have been molested since the age of 4 in that household by different people. It was always said to be my fault. I must have had my hair out. I must have been smiling in his face. I must have done something to warrant it. So when this happened outside in the street versus at home with so-called family members, I knew I had to do something. So this was in 94. In 2018, December of 2018, or 19, I don't know, that he surfaced with Nicki, and it was a big thing where people started looking up his rap sheet and speaking about what he had did. Now, granted, I know he's supposed to register as a sex offender. I have nothing to do with that. That was the plea deal that he took. He chose not to register when he moved to California, and this is when all the trouble resurfaced. Nicki made a post on her page stating that we was in a relationship. He was 15, I was 16, and it was because of my mother, the reason why charges was pressed. That is a lie. I never lived with my mother. I wasn't raised with my mother. Even though my mother was a part of my life, she wasn't a part of my life in that way. That is false. Kenny and I were both 16 at the time. We were never in a relationship. And I spoke about that. I spoke to a blog, Candace at Tea Time, or Tea Time with Candace. I don't know, something. I spoke with her, and it wasn't about Kenny. I didn't need to speak about Kenny. I didn't feel the need to tell my story because my story had already been told, hence the reason why he was arrested. He went to jail, he did his time, and he dealt with whatever consequences he had to deal with after getting out of jail. So what I spoke about, the reason for me wanting to speak was because of what Nicki said. And I felt like it was a lie. And if she was going to love him and be with him, then she should just accept him and that be it, not speak about something that she had no knowledge of. I don't know Nicki. I didn't know her as a kid. I don't know her from the neighborhood. I do have family members that know her from the neighborhood, but I wasn't a street girl. I wasn't allowed to hang out in the streets. I didn't have very many friends in the neighborhood. I had friends in school, but not in the neighborhood because the lady I lived with was really strict. Well, in March of 2020, I got a call from a mutual friend of Kenneth and my brother, and he said that he could connect me to them and make this go away. And when he said he could connect me to them, meaning Nicki and Kenny, and when he said he could make this go away, I thought the agreement was going to be, if I don't speak to anybody about them, they wouldn't speak to anybody about me. End of story. Well, that's not what happened. What happened was this mutual person offered me $20,000 to write a letter stating that I lied about what I did. I lied about Kenny assaulting me. And I didn't want to do it. I got a phone call from Nicki Minaj herself saying that she got word that I was willing to help them out in this situation because, Kenny had got arrested for not registering in the state of California on state charges, and then he got out, and then federal charges were brought up on him. So she said that she could send her publicist, Joe, out to where I was living at the time. I have since moved multiple times since then, but that she can send Joe out, her publicist Joe, out to meet with me and talk with me about the situation. After that phone call with Nicki, the only contact I had was from street goons. I think she has somebody in her camp called Ganks. He was contacting family members. There was a lot of numbers as far as money being offered, but it was never offered from Nicki, and it was never offered from Kenny personally. It was just people speaking on behalf of Kenny. I have since had the U.S. Marshals come track me down because they got word that I was being harassed to recant my story. I have moved since March. I have moved 4 times due to people approaching my children. My daughter was out one night with some friends at a club, and some random guy approached her talking about he knows who she is, and he knows who her mother is, so she must know who Zoo is. She got really afraid and she ran. I honestly, truly do not care what happens between Nicki and whoever she chooses to marry or be with. If they're happy, I want them to be happy. I just want them to leave me alone. I want his lawyers to stop calling me. I want people to stop harassing me. I have since heard that that because I chose not to take the money that they offered, that they are offering that money for my head. I have no true knowledge of how real this is, but I was offered to be put in witness protection, but that would mean that I would be away from all of my family and my children, and I chose not to do that. My only issue is the fact that after all this time, I still feel like I'm defending myself. I still feel like, people are calling me a liar. People are saying that I messed up this man's life, but it's my life who was messed up. It's my life who has been altered. It's my life. It was altered then when I was 16, having to leave the state of New York. It has been altered now, having to leave where I was living at to relocate. He's supposed to be going to court come the new year, and they're calling for me to testify. His lawyers are saying that they are trying to get his sex offender thrown out. And I instructed the lawyer, like, you're the one who went to school to be a lawyer. So if you're able to do that, knock yourself out. But do not use me. Do not call me. Do not try to subpoena me, because if you do, I'm going to tell the truth. At 16, I was being threatened and harassed to drop the charges. And now I'm being threatened and harassed to recant my story. And I would just like all the women out there who are saying that I'm lying, are claiming that I'm white. I am not white. Claiming that we was in a relationship. We were never in a relationship, ever in a relationship. I feel like even though it's something that happened 26 years ago, I'm still living with the effects now. On September.
Okay, so we hear her sound. That was not my smoke detector. That was actually the lady that is saying these things. And I have a couple of things to say, and I know it's going to trigger some people today. I know it. That's why we got the phone line, so you can get your opinion. What I personally think about this don't have nothing to do with Nicki Minaj. Number one, if you're going to, take this out my ear, okay? Take this out my ear. Let me drink a little bit of coffee. Hold up. If you're going to be out here having these strong allegations against a rapper like Nicki Minaj and her husband, you got to do better by recording that in your home with a smoke detector that is going off, and we just see a extension cord and just hear some voice. Okay? If you are saying that they had offered me money, but I refused the money, but they have put money on my head because I refused the money. You got to show receipts. I cannot allow on this platform or the integrity of this show to run with this narrative. You haven't showed a receipt. Only thing we hear, you and your voice, you sound sleepy, and that smoke detector that's going off, and we're looking at a extension cord, and you're saying all of these strong allegations, not one shred of a document to back up your allegations. What you're showing court documents of the case. But I don't see the evidence where Onika is offering you money to hush up. Show me that evidence. Show me that receipt. If you're going to come out here with this strong allegations, I don't want to hear the audio. I want to see your face. I want to see your facial expressions to see who are you. I'm just not going to just say up. Let me just hear this audio and all of this type of stuff. We just going to run with the narrative and say it is what it is. This can be an imposter. Who's to say that this the woman that was raped by Kenneth Petty? This can be an imposter. I don't know. I want to be able to see her face. Okay, now. She said some things, and she said some things with no shred of evidence. If we just pick this story up and just run with it, where is the proof to back up what this woman is saying? Because she says some strong allegations. What she's saying is this is a federal offense. And then she said, well, they offered me to be in a witness protection program. The witness protection program, where are your evidence with this stuff? They're not going to just offer you to be in a witness protection program. First and foremost, the federal agents going to be knocking on Onika's door and Mr. Petty's door and say, we got proof that you're trying to put money on her head or offering her money or bribery. Where are your evidence? Where are your court records concerning this updated case? Now, if you were raped 20-some years ago, it's already court documents to establish that Kenneth Petty served time. He's on the sex offender list, right? So we got that. That's all in black and white. But what you're saying now, they offer me money. I personally believe, I feel it in my spirit, that you are triggered to say these things because Kenneth Petty have moved on with his life and he's dating a multi-millionaire, Nicki Minaj. And you trigger because you and your mind, how could this man rape me? He moved on with his life. He's not homeless. And now he's dating an icon in the music industry. I think that is one of your reasonings of why you're really speaking out. I think you're a little bit bitter because Kenneth Petty is not in prison in shackles. He moved on with his life, and now you're latching out and you're giving Nicki Minaj that energy because you're making it about her. But if you're going to come against Nicki, ma'am, sister, you got to come with some evidence. You just can't come with your smoke detector going off and just saying all of this stuff. Okay? I need a little bit more evidence. We need to see your face. We just picking all this stuff up because let's be clear. I could be wrong, but let me fact check myself really quick. I could be wrong, but let me fact check myself. Let me do a little bit research really quickly. And let me check 3 blogs. I'm going to check the big 3. I'm going to check the Neighborhood Talk blog. They have not talked about it. I'm going to check the Shade Room. The Shade Room have not talked about it. Let me scroll down. I have not seen the post on the Shade Room. I'm just scrolling down. I have not seen any of these other outlets really talking about, no mainstream media talking about it. Let me check TMZ. Maybe TMZ talked about it. I don't know, but let me just check. Because this woman is alleging that Nicki out here want to put out a hit on this woman. Let me check TMZ. I don't see nothing about it. They ain't on the homepage. So if you got this big exclusive, where your evidence? Because no major publication is going to co-sign this with no proof. If you're saying that Nicki Minaj have put out a hit on you, where the proof at? These major publications will be on there like right on rice if you have the proof to back it up. What I think that you're paranoid, you need therapy, and you hurt, and you bitter for what happened to you as a child. So what you have to do, the hardcore truth that you're going to have to swallow is to get counseling and therapy to move forward with your life. Because if you don't move forward, you're going to be stuck for decades giving us the story of what happened to you. And I definitely am with you, and my heart goes out for you. But sister, you're going to have to now be like, okay, that happened to me, but I'm going to have to make the point of myself to get in some therapy and some counseling and so I can get some healing in this situation. But going out here, going to blogs where they exploit you, get a click in a view, and your smoke detector going off, that ain't going to make the problem go away. It's just going to actually make it be worse. Okay? So I'm because you came out before, it really didn't get no traction. Now you're back again saying these things. I personally, before I really say what I in this situation, oh, Nicki this, Nicki that, well, the proof that. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to open up the phone lines and you all will be able to speak. Okay? All right? We're going to open up the phone line. And sister, if you want to come on the Wiley Show, please show your face. I just can't go by audio because you could be an imposter. You could be somebody that's getting catfish. They're going to be about to take your story, show me your face, show me some documents and everything like that. Now, I got to look at these court documents. Now, any paralegals, any people that know how to get court documents and stuff, because y'all got me with the Tasha K court documents, but I want to look at the documentation, look at word for word, because when I'm hearing word on the street, the story keep on changing. The story keep on changing. So send me the receipt so I can crack open them court documents. And I definitely want to see the receipts of Onika offering this woman money to hush up. And if she don't take it, we're going to put out on her head. I want to see those receipts too. Right? Okay. All right. They keep saying it's public. Well, instruct me how to get to those public records so I can crack open those case, and see what's really going on. Now, I'm going to allow y'all to speak. Don't get on here cussing me out and all that type of stuff. Unless you, okay, don't come on my platform cussing. All right. Let me drink a little bit of that coffee. I know they ain't gonna like that type of teaching, but it is what it is. It's my opinion. It's the Wiley Show opinion. 3071, Carly on air.
Hey, Wiley. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I don't want to sound insensitive or I just really don't believe that story. It just seems as though people have always tried to pit Cardi and Nicki against each other. When that doesn't work, then they bring up her brother. They bring up Nicki's brother. Then they'll bring up her husband and like his conviction. What bothers me is when people do these videos and then they sit up there and all you can hear is that beeping noise. That throws me off. Not showing your face. If somebody is coming up to your child, so apparently they know who your child is, they know who you are, then why not show your face? And this is nothing against victims, because there are victims out there who don't have the courage to come forward because of people like this and other people who bring these stories out, and it's a bunch of lies. We just living in the days now where people, all they want is clout. They want attention. They not get enough attention at home. Let me put this attention out. And if somebody, another thing I want to bring up, if somebody is offering you money to not tell your story, you just I don't understand that. Tell your story. Go on some of these big blogs or do some of these interviews where you can really get your story out. Some victims, they may not feel comfortable showing their face, and I understand that.
No, it's when you come with this story, you got to give me a little bit of sauce with this. We just can't go with an audio, with a voice, and then you do an interview on somebody else's platform, and then you say, well, I'm not really blaming Nicki, but girl, the original video with your smoke detector going off, you were throwing shots at Nicki. Then you want to split, well, it's not really about Nicki and all of this. I'm done talking about it. What are you trying to do in this situation? Before you do all of these interviews, number one, go to counseling. Go to therapy. Get help, because blaming Nicki ain't going to change the situation of you being bitter, hurt, depressed, and whatever else that you're battling with.
Right. And I just don't like how people come out with these stories of, I was attacked and this happened to me. And when you really, you're not willing to show proof. You're not saying, oh, go look at my court papers, or on this day this happened. Like, you're really not showing proof. You're just showing the feeling, and you're just telling some story.
Right.
And I'm gonna say this also. I blame a lot of this on, I don't want to say us, but as people could see how Jaguar was telling these stories, some of her stuff may have been true, some of it false, but people kept saying, oh, I believe all of it. I believe all of it. We're so quick to believe the negative, and we're not sitting out here trying to find the truth. It's just that, oh, that person has more money than me. I hate that person. Eat the rich. Like, come on now. And yesterday, Nicki had good news where she was on the top 10 list of being streamed. And then what happens? Now this comes out. Like, y'all got to give it a break. It's not that much clout in the world to sell your soul just to be famous. But I really want to see this chick's face. Now, I really want proof because I'm not feeling her.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in. Okay. Thank you, caller. All right. 4767. Caller, you on the air.
Hey,
Hey.
Yeah, and Kyle, he needs to leave Mob alone. I'm mobbing, okay? And the thing about Nicki, I don't know who this person is, and you don't either, and nobody else do. She could be any clown, anybody that calls. Because I heard the show when she did it with Candace, her words and the way she described it is different. In the beginning, and don't worry, because Millie gonna go find them court papers. But the thing about it is that you done waited 26 years. You talking about you done been threatened. This didn't happen, that didn't happen. Why are you just now saying something? Why are you just now bringing this up? If I had been threatened and I know people, I got to move and this and that and other, I'd have been came out and said, yeah. And if something happened to me, I just want to let you know, Nicki Minaj and her husband, before she did accuse Nicki, she put her in it right with her husband, like Nicki was the one that was there. And when she did that, she said, yeah, I remember her from back in the days. Now she's saying, oh, I didn't even know her. But when she talked to Candace, she said she remembered Nicki. We don't know.
Okay, so when she talked to Candace, she said she remembered Nicki, and now she's saying now she don't remember Nicki. This woman again.
Exactly.
She need help, and she ain't keeping up with her story. So go ahead, sister.
You don't have to remember how to tell the truth. Mm-hmm. But if you lying, you never gonna tell that lie the same way. Instead of you talking about the talk show you did with Candace, you should be saying, go look at the court papers. Because whatever you said in that court papers, it just happened. And and I'm gonna tell you something. If that had happened to me and somebody gonna come back 26 years later and go offer me some money, and I'm sure it had to be a clue of money, I would have took that money and sit my ass down. I'm real.
I would have took the money and went to therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or to get my smoke detector fixed.
I believe she asked for some money, if she even real, because like
we don't know.
Other caller said,
right.
Nicki announced she was on that billboard. We didn't see Megan Thee Stallion up there. And we all know that there's some shit going on behind Megan. Whoever, yeah, we know that. And so the thing about it is that anybody can pay people these days to say anything on these shows. Anything. And her with that beeper going off, I wanted to snatch her out that phone. Girl, put a battery in your thing. You moving that much, you must got some money. Put a battery in your smoke detector.
All right. Thank
That's
you so
irritating.
much.
How long you been listening to that?
All
Maybe
right.
it's one of those things, how them people hypnotize you and they tell you to watch the clock. Well, they said listen to the beat, and every time you hear the beat, lie.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for.
So no, I don't believe that.
Well, thank you.
She needs to keep Nicki name out of her mouth. That's what she
it's
needs
not about
to do for
Nicki.
somebody really.
It's about her and Kenneth.
Exactly.
Right. Thank you. Thank you so much, sister.
And if you done dealt with it 26 years, move on, girl. Move on.
Well, we thank you so much for calling in, sister. You kept it real. All right. The number is 646-716. You too. 646-716-888. 8047. All right, we're going to the next caller. 8047. Caller, you on the air.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
All right.
Well, first I want to say that everybody is so hung up on, details that she, if he struck her from in the front or behind. Everybody's hung up on the beeping in the background. If she's not showing her face. But the thing is, if she shows her face, then everybody's going to say she's doing it for clout. I don't know if you all remember the other ex that he had that had allegedly gotten beat up in her house. Do you remember that?
No,
I think her name was Redbone.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yes. Somebody sent me a DM about that.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So you might want to look at that. And there's some similarities to her and this girl as well. None of us know the truth. And she, to me, this is just my opinion. I mean, this woman's been dealing with this for 26 years. I hear the conviction in her voice. It seems to me that she's telling the truth, but until we all see the paperwork, he has already been proven in the court of law as being guilty. She did go on and do a show with Candace that was then, and I just think that they're not letting it go. I believe that they are sending her, different her goons or her lawyers or whatever. She details different names that's in Nicki's camp. I'm sure everybody can go back and see if that's true or not. She says she's moved 4 times. I mean, she hasn't taken the money for what she says. I mean, if she shows her face, not all of us know what she looks like. That's just going to bring more traffic to her and her children. So until we see the paperwork, I mean, that's really all we can go off on. But we do know that he was found guilty. And Nicki tried to spin the narrative that, they were in a relationship. She's just trying to tell her truth and say that they were not in a relationship. Some of the details may be a little conflicting. I mean, that was 26 years ago.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is, where is the police in this matter of bribery, money, threats? Where that evidence, right? Because what she's describing crimes that are still happening to her. And if he's doing this on a sex offender, it's easy to get him back into prison if he's doing this activity. You're threatening the victim. Sure. You're trying to pay off the victim that you raped. And, did she tell the authorities?
She said that it never came. She said it never came from me or from Petty. She said that it was other people. So we don't know right now.
Even if it's other people, still get the police involved and let them investigate, because if they find out that they can.
But how do we not know that, though? We don't know that yet. I mean, she's just right now, to me, I think she's laying out a timeline just in case, or just showing different little. She's not going to show her whole hand.
Well, if she did, if she did that, obviously it's foolish for her to be out here talking when they're investigating. Right? So I don't think she did it. I just pretty much think that she's trying to get clout off this situation and use sympathy for what happened to her 20-some years ago. And she's jumping from platform to platform. Instead of going to therapy, she's going to go to YouTube for a click of the view.
No, she's not. She went on one. If she was trying to get clout, wouldn't she be going to the highest paid person and show her face? She would be trying to go and get money. She hasn't. If we know, she hasn't gotten paid for anything. She went on Candace's show. That's it. So I mean, if she was showing, I don't think she'd be showing her face. She would be on somebody's, maybe Tasha K or whoever that will offer her money right now. I mean, we don't know that until we see those court records. I wish there was a way that we could get them and read and see. But we're just all going off assumption and what we assume. We really don't know. We don't know if this woman has recordings or anything. She's dealing with multimillionaire people, and so of course they're gonna move a little differently. I'm sure they're not calling her.
Man, I don't think you noticed. She did go. She did go to another platform today, and she did another interview. She did an interview today, so she's still out here talking again, ma'am. I'm just like, I got my judge. I got my judge. If they would have paid me, we give them clout. But I got on my Judge Mathis hat, And I'm looking at
But hold on a second. What platform?
where is the
What
police
platform did she
activity?
go?
But she still went on and
No,
something
hold
like
on
that.
a second. You said that
But
she
she
went on.
did.
What is
Yes,
the
she did. She
platform,
went on the
though?
platform. Tune into my radio tomorrow.
Who?
Maybe she'll update you on that. Thank you so much, ma'am, for calling in. Okay. We don't do no free promo unless you pay and stuff like that. But you got to keep updated. She said, "Oh, she went on Candace last year, and that was it." No, that ain't it. That woman's still out here talking with that smoke detector going off. But let's go. Let's continue. Okay. All right. 4949 caller, you on air.
Hi, Wiley. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, so I listened to both. I heard the one with Candace as well as the one where she went. The video that she had on today, not today, but the video that has been circulating around. The problem is there is court case. The documents based off of what the blast.com as well as TMZ both had insiders of what the court case stated.
Okay.
Per records, the lady stated that Kenneth Petty came from behind. Now she's saying that they sat down and had a conversation. It's changing because then Candace, she said something totally different than Candace, because then she's saying she went to school, but then it was a situation where it stated that the actual foster parents found them in the bed. So the story keeps switching. And I don't know if you know this, Wiley, but there was a similar video exactly like this that was on Facebook last year. The only difference is the dates are changed. Instead of 2019, now they're saying 2020. So, Facebook pulled it down, and then they found out that person was lying, or it wasn't the actual victim. Now, all of a sudden, we have the same replica video up, and what she's stating is a criminal offense. If Nicki was to, as she was saying, or whoever reached out to her for intimidation, putting a hit out on her head, or trying to bribe a previous witness, that's a criminal offense. This is not a game to be playing with. Someone could really go to prison for that. Now, I call what she's doing, it's kind of like paltering. Do you know what that term means?
No.
Basically, the person takes a sentence that's correct, right? So say, for instance, I say, hey, Wiley has a white shirt on today. But I seen Wiley go ahead and run down the street and he's out going crazy and doing all this stuff. While, yes, you have a white shirt on, but everything else I said was false. But since I said that one true thing, it makes the statement seem as the whole statement is correct. When in actuality, the only truth is you only have a white shirt on. I don't do the victim blaming. The problem with this situation is we're requesting proof. If someone is alleging that someone tried to pay you $20,000 to not speak on an information that's already on public, TMZ, from white media to black media, Instagram, Twitter, all of Kenny's records, not Kenny records, but the rape case and stuff like that, is public information. Why would they pay you to not say anything when you already had an affidavit that prosecuted him, that got him arrested for prison? There is no reason for them to pay you anything. You've already been speaking, so that's out the door. So when people are asking for proof, that's not victim blaming. We don't even know if this is the victim because A, if she is pretending to be a victim, that is considered liable, and she could be sued for the actions of her words if this is considered the fake victim, and that's defamation for Nicki because she's going around here saying criminal stuff. Another thing, what should have been a huge red flag is that, like you just stated before, it went from it being directly about her and Kenny to now it's her, Nicki, and Kenny to now her, Nicki, and the courts to switching, when in actuality, as you stated, this just sounds like someone who needs help, who needs counseling, who needs therapy. And the story keeps popping up every few months and it keeps being added. Stuff keeps being added about it. But if this was a real situation, she could have easily went to the police, make a report.
Right.
There is no reports. She hasn't done that. But what did she do? She went to YouTube. She went to YouTube. Then she went back to another YouTuber.
Yes.
And she still hasn't went even, I don't know if she's done it today, but she still has yet to go to the police to file these charges against them. So that's my only issue is I'm not victim blaming, but this person has not stated who she is, so we don't know. We can't identify her as the victim. She has shown no legal proof from a voice, text, emails, and the emails we need to see an actual correct header, not something that just can be made. We need substantiating proof because these are claims that are criminal offenses that these people could be put in prison for, and she has yet to provide us any proof. We can't go off of, well, this is what I'm saying. Assumptions get people killed.
Like, if you're going to interview anybody that would come with that, the main point of it is, did you go to the police? Why are you going to go to the police? You know what I mean? Because this is criminal. Right. I don't understand if someone great before you run to YouTube, baby, you got to run to the protect the serve people that get paid to do these investigations. And it's much easier for them to listen when he's already on a sex offender list. Like, they will really take heed to what she said if she's a victim, if this is true. So before you run to YouTube or the Instagram or whatever, you take that to the authorities.
Correct. And I see a lot of people saying that they were trying to say that recant the story. Depending on what degree he actually got filed in. First degree, there is no recanting. Second degree, she has 20 years to try to recant. And third degree, she has 10 years to try to recant. And even if she did try to recant, she will be tried for perjury. And no money could keep her out of prison. So there is no recanting. That's what I'm saying. This stuff is nonsensical. To recant means you have lied under oath, which means she committed perjury, which means she will be facing prison time.
All right.
Well, money is not going to get her out of prison time. So there is no recanting she can do. If he did first degree or whatever, the statute of limitations, there is no statute of limitations. Second or third degree and stuff like that is 20 and 10 years, depending on, because it was held in New York.
All right.
So that's all I'm saying.
Thank you so
much. Thank you, Wiley. And I'm a cash app you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. We sure need it. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that's good. We get call. Thank you. We're getting callers around there. So the number is 646-716-8447. 8375. Call you on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hi. I've just been sitting back listening. So my son was just here and we was talking about it. And first thing that caught my ear was Nicki or someone of her crew offered this lady $20,000. So I'm telling my son, I'm like, Nicki is worth millions. And this is her husband's life on the line, his freedom per se. She know $20,000? No. Now, if it had been more, this lady probably would have went for the bait. But $20,000? No, I don't think this is the lady that actually, or the young lady. I don't think this is the rapist. I think this is someone that is trying to assassinate Nicki's character, her husband. They know that, yes, he has a case coming up because he did not register within the state of California. We know two things in this story. We know something is true and we know something is false. I don't personally think that this is the young lady because I think somebody is actually putting her life on the line. Somebody is playing with her life if this is not her, because you're now saying that your attack Nicki is like, probably like, this is my husband. You know, you're attacking my husband's life. You're attacking his character. So therefore it can make them go after her. I feel like somebody is playing a dangerous game. And I feel like other people are involved and they need to stop. If this is for stories, if this is for likes, if this is for clicks, we got two families involved here. too, not just Nicki and her family, but we got this young lady and her family. If this is not her, anybody can take a story and run with it. And I personally feel like I'm not going to get on here and bash whoever this is because I don't know if she's real or if she's fake. But what if this is fake? I'm not going to bash this woman because it can go either way at this point. But I think we have to tread lightly. We have to tread thin because we can't go with the first story and run with it. It needs to be investigated. I heard some things in the story about the people, the police, the marshals got in contact with her because they heard that bounty was on her head. Really? Really? That would mean that the same situation with 6ix9ine, that would mean that they are recording conversations to know that you have a bounty on your head. That means that you ain't really lost, or you found, because they know exactly where you are to locate you and come and tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, we got recordings, because that's basically what she's saying, that Nicki, them husband, got a bounty on your head for $20,000. Do you want to go in witness protection? This ain't even that serious. This is not even that serious. This is not even that serious because if push comes to shove, Nicki is going to do exactly what Nicki has to do. But I think people need to stop. They need to stop trying to mess. Just because things are going wrong in your life don't mean that you got to go interfering and messing up somebody else's life. It's so many unhappy people right now that they're willing to target this woman. I'm not no Barb and all of that. I listen to Nicki's music. I like her music. I like the person that she is. Nicki is real. That's why they don't give her the credit that's due, because she's real. And you will never understand real. You will never put real on the front line. So for whoever this is that's trying to assassinate her husband, she chose who she chose. She knew what she was battling when she chose this man. So who is us to judge? Women, females? Because some of us got men that done did way worse than what Mr. Petty done. So leave this damn woman alone, and I'm out.
Oh, all right. Grandma went off. She said, leave it alone. Grandma went off, okay? Y'all gonna give Grandma some turkey wings and some collard greens. Grandma went off. Give her a sweet potato pie. 9675, call you on the air.
Hi, I just want to say, first and foremost, people need to stop, like, just because Nicki is a celebrity doesn't mean that she's right. Like, being a celebrity don't make you automatically right. And when a celebrity does something to somebody and the person speaks on it, it doesn't mean that the person wants clout all the time. Like, can you not speak on a situation without everybody saying, oh, this is clout, this is clout, this is clout? Like, that girl is human at the end of the day. And if she went through something with him and she want to speak on it, why shouldn't she? I mean, it happened to her. It don't matter if it was 20 years ago. It happened to her, and if she want to speak on it, she should be able to do so. Now, about Nicki, like, I don't think Nicki tried to pay anything. I really don't. But she is defending him when she shouldn't be. Like, if somebody, for example, you remember when K. Michelle was talking about that guy, I forgot his name, and he was dating Toya. And Toya said, oh, you know, I don't think he's like that. I don't think he did that. I don't think. She didn't know. And then when she got with him, she saw for herself, and then they broke up. So, of course, Nicki dating him, she's going to want to have his back, or she's going to stay with him and believe what he says, but it doesn't mean that it's true. And if he did that, the lady should be able to speak on it. I don't think she wants clout because I never saw her face. I never really heard her speak up besides that interview. You said that there was an interview today or she did something else. I didn't see that. But I never saw her. If somebody wanted clout, they would show their face because that's how you get clout, by showing who you are. So I don't think she wants clout. I think she just want to speak on a situation. If somebody did something to me and then they became a celebrity, living happily ever after, knowing what you did, you know, you'll be affected by that as well, because everybody is human at the end of the day, whether they're a celebrity or not.
Well, we thank you so much for giving it real. Thank you. All right. Man, they are really, hold up, y'all. We're going to bring all the callers on. Don't hang up.
That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
All right, so we're going to all the phone numbers. 5840, caller, you're on air. 5840.
Hey, what's going on, man? Good show, good show. I just want to say, I believe it's for clout, and I do want to say, everyone shouldn't jump on a story if you don't have valid facts. I mean, I did not watch the person that interviewed the lady allegedly claiming all of this that's going on with Nicki Minaj and her husband. But I do want to say, people ain't stupid, man. Stop chasing clout. And all I'm going to say is, and I'm not going to say too much because I don't want the person to do other stuff now, but they do have people out here to find out who that person really is. They do have forensics. So stop playing games, man. And the person that interviewed this person, you could be held accountable as well.
Yeah, the same thing that they said about
And that's
Tasha
all
can
I'm
happen.
saying.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I just said, hey, you know, show yourself. We hear the smoke detector going off, and now you want to do a press tour. Where the authorities at? That's what I'm preaching here in this video. And if you disagree with me, the phone lines is open. Go ahead.
And it's being held on your platform.
Right. Exactly. Thank you. All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. All right. The number is 646-716-8447. Yeah. Okay. 0209, calling on air.
What's up, Wiley?
Hey.
I'm eating my sandwich. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm calling from Jersey. I listened to you last night. I laughed so hard. I almost peed on myself. You are so funny. So let me tell you this. I'm trying to swallow, not be so gross. That last grandma that called, girl, bye. She's in the news. People want to talk about it. Now, I need you to help me because I just got finished getting my hair done, so I wasn't listening. So is this a new case her husband is being charged with?
This is not a new case. No. This is the victim, allegedly the victim that was raped by Nicki Minaj's husband. And she's speaking out, having these allegations, talking about they put a bounty on her head and they offer her $20,000. So this is no new case. Okay. She's
So now my question is, didn't he already go to jail for this?
He already went to jail for that. He's on the sex offender list. He already served his time. He did not register with California for whatever reason. So he got a court date, I believe, according to Millie, in February to answer that.
Okay, so he's going to go to jail for the violation of not registering.
We don't know if he's going to go to jail. He got a court date. It's not necessary that he go to jail. He got to have the defense. We don't know if he's going to go to jail yet. That's up to the judge.
Well, this is true, but you know you're supposed to register.
Yes.
And when he registered, I'm sure he still had a probation officer that knew he was going to California. So there's some mess going on there. So he may do a little time. However, let's talk about the victim now. Why the F are you talking about this now if he's already did his time? What is it that you're trying to get out of this? And I'm not victim shaming. I just want to know, if he's already served his time for the crime that he was committed for, why are you talking about this now? What's your point? And you don't have to answer because that's rhetorical. Now, my other thing is we need to really get down to the basics of Meg Thee Stallion. I want to know who shot her, if she stepped on a piece of glass, what's going on, because I'm sick of her too. These people need to get their lives together. So what you think, Wiley? Give it to me. Why?
Okay, no, I'm getting your point on there. So what we're talking about. So now you had your opinion on the situation. You don't believe the victim. You pretty much believe that the victim is clout chasing, or the alleged victim is clout chasing.
I don't believe that it didn't happen to her. I believe it could have happened. He was convicted. Don't know if it happened. Don't know if it did happen. However, what she's doing now is unnecessary. I think this is a problem. And she needs to get checked on this.
All right. Well,
That's it, Wiley.
All right. Thank you so very much. Enjoy your ham sandwich. Okay. 3376 caller, you on air.
Hey, Wiley. Hey,
Hey.
baby.
Hey.
So, I have to say that Kenneth didn't register in California because Nicki Minaj's address would be populated with that. And when he did, that's when everybody found out where her home was all the time. If anybody remembers that, I think Millie did a story on it. But I will say this. You are definitely right about this woman. She's going from platform to platform. I know exactly who you're talking about. I will not mention names. She did one last year. She said something, and then now she's saying something completely different. I wouldn't be surprised if she went on a whole nother platform to tell her story some more. And I'm like, what is the reason? Like $20,000? Like, girl, if you want to convince us, you know, put a real number out there, not 20 grand. We know 20 grand can't do nothing. This is Nicki Minaj we're talking about. We're not talking about one of the girls who are still up and coming. So I'm not understanding that. And I am credentialed in, I'm NOVA certified when it comes to cases. And she seems to be telling lies from my standpoint.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so very much in that situation. So you're pretty much standing with Nicki Minaj and her husband in this situation.
Yes, because at the end of the day, Tasha K already ran down the facts for us. Okay. Like, people like to feel like they don't remember. She put it out there. You know, they're fighting a case to change some things. All of a sudden, her people is attacking her like out the blue after Nicki Minaj showed us her son's voice, and then she's getting all these accolades, and she has this HBO deal. It just sounds real fishy. It sounds like the hate train 2.0 because they got to get this woman up out of here. I mean, they can't have a lady writing her rap and been on top of her game all this time, still dominating a field where the girls can't even stand close to her. It just sounds suspect.
All right, I hear you. Thank you so much for listening to the Wiley Show. Please subscribe.
Wiley, you know I'm subscribed. This is Couture Bag.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Couture Bag, for calling in. Thank you. All right.
No problem. All right.
All right. So the number is 646-716-8447. 2427. Caller, you on air.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Okay. I'm going to tell you what's going on. As a victim myself, I had to go through this too. When my victimizer, he didn't register, years later, I had to go back into court to testify and relive everything. Because him not doing what he's supposed to do, that woman has to go back into court and give her testimony about what happened to her. That's why they're threatening her now. And that's why she's coming out now. Because they don't want her to come to court. Him not registering himself has brought her back into the fold of things. So it's not she's clout chasing. This is what happens in these cases.
Okay.
And then hearing all of these people, she's already been victimized. Nicki has already lied about things maybe Nicki didn't know. But this woman, she's hiding right now because she doesn't want to have to go through that again in front of them people. That's why they're trying to pay her money to write statements saying it didn't happen. So it's a different type of world when you're a victim and you have to be re-victimized, because I don't care who you're with now. Live your life. I don't care if Nicki Minaj is a millionaire. He still should have did what he had to do. Or she shouldn't have picked him knowing what he had to do. Point blank, period.
Right, but I hear what you're saying, but that's not on Nicki though. Nicki have a right to choose whoever she want to choose to marry, and this what I'm trying to understand.
Right, so she should have made sure old boy was on his shit because this woman,
right,
you know what I'm saying? She shouldn't have been victimized again.
Right, but I also want to say this though. We don't know, and all this is allegedly that they tried to offer money. But if that was the case, ma'am, why take it to the internet?
It's not about
and don't take it to the authorities
because they don't want her to show up for court because she has to go in front of the court and testify again. Like everybody keeps saying allegedly. He was convicted of the crime. He admitted to doing it. He took a plea deal. Nothing was dismissed. He admitted to doing it in front of the court.
Right. Okay. We know that piece. But what I'm saying is
right. So everybody is saying allegedly.
No, where we're saying where we're putting the allegedly on is saying that he offered money to her to be silent. That is allegedly because we don't have proof on that, and she have not produced receipts that he have offered money, hush money, for her not to testify.
If she goes, she said she told the judge and she told his lawyers, "If you contact me again, I'm going to show up for court." She has to testify.
Where the proof on that, ma'am? If she went to the judge, that don't make sense. If you went to the judge and say, "Hey, they offered me this," they're not gonna just bypass that and say, "Okay, we're gonna wait till you testify for you to bring this up."
You don't think she has proof of this?
Well, so where is it at? But don't go to the internet. Like what I'm saying, if you have proof, baby, go to the judge, go to the courthouse. You don't have to wait till you testify.
Okay, his baby mama said he did all types of stuff. You know, did you see what happened to his baby mama?
Again, that's his baby mama. We're talking about this case. You can't group all women that Kenneth Petty been with and group them all in one box. No, we're speaking about this case of this victim with the smoke detector going off. If you're so afraid of your life, why are you going on the internet doing interviews? You are adding more fire to the situation. Go to the authorities.
The Candace interview was back when Nicki said what she said.
What about the updated report when she went live? What about the updated report when she went live and she said what she said? And
she can go live.
No, she shouldn't. It's adding more trouble to her. You add what to me? She could do what she want to do, but you can't say, "Oh, I'm so afraid." But yet I'm gonna go and give me a click in the view, and I'm gonna do an interview. Okay, that makes you seem like you're not afraid.
The interview was years ago.
I understand that, but she went. But again, she went live again. And she broke it down on stage here. We're gonna
if something happened to that girl, before this court date come up, okay, then what?
Again, that's when the authorities got to come up. That's when the authorities got to get involved, man. What we're saying is, what I'm trying to make you understand is get the police involved instead of getting YouTube involved.
How you gonna get? She wasn't on YouTube. She went live on Facebook page.
It doesn't matter where she went live. Before you go live on Facebook, ain't the police. You go to the police.
If I'm scared for my life, I'm gonna tell somebody.
You go to the cops, ma'am. Let me school you. If you're afraid of your life, before you run to Facebook, run to the authorities.
Okay, you don't think? Okay.
If your life in danger, if I'm getting robbed, I'm not about to run to YouTube. Oh my gosh, I'm getting robbed, y'all. I'm gonna go to the police.
It's not about to rob you. A millionaire superstar isn't about to rob you.
What I'm trying to say is, before you run to Facebook and get a click and a view, go to the authorities so they can investigate.
My thing is, she did right. She told her story, and if anything had happened to her before that court case, okay, everybody gonna know what happened to her. Point blank period. So I get what you're saying.
Well, we thank you. I'm praying
Thank
for her.
you, too.
Hopefully she get batteries for that smoke detector, and that she be protected, that nothing happened to her
Why don't do that?
at all.
Because you
Okay,
had your
I'm praying
smoke
for
detector ringing,
ain't nothing
too.
wrong with me praying
You
that she
say
put a
what?
battery in that smoke detector. I said what I said is she put a good old AA battery in that smoke detector right then and there. Maybe she need a couple of dollars so she get that smoke detector together because it was beeping, and I don't want to be seeing that extension cord. But if she would have called me, I'd have had her put on a wig and put on some makeup and went live with a ring light instead of her showing her extension cord and hearing that smoke detector. That's just me. If you're gonna come out all the way.
That's why I know she's scared. That girl's scared.
Oh no, she ain't that scared.
It's different.
She ain't that scared. She getting clicks and views and doing interviews. I don't think she that scared. I think she honestly, I think she's mad because Nicki Minaj got Kenneth Petty.
The interview she did with Candace was 2 years ago when Nicki Minaj said she was lying.
All right.
And that she was that boy girlfriend.
Okay. But I want you to listen to my after show on Station Here. We'll give you an update story, okay? If you got it,
Okay, bet.
I'm gonna put Station on. Thank you, sister. All right.
All right.
Clicks and views. Oh, we got a lot of callers. Okay, y'all. Let's go because we're gonna do the after show on Station Here because we are number 9 on Station Here. So we're gonna do an after show over there. But let's get these callers in. Anonymous, you live on air.
Wiley, you such a flip flopper. I agree with the last caller.
Okay, I'm flip flopper. Yes, I'm okay.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because
why.
Now this situation has nothing to do with this. But however, this is what I want to say. When the whole situation happened with Meg, right? Meg went to Instagram before she went to the police. And you cape for Megan saying that you believe her and that the reason why she went to Instagram is because she was scared. So she wanted to put it out there to the whole world, even though she still hasn't pressed charges against Tory.
But
right?
he was arrested,
he still
though.
hasn't pressed charges.
But wasn't he arrested? Did he get arrested that night?
Yeah,
though?
but he was arrested.
Okay.
He was arrested for the gun charge, and then they put the extra charges on him 2 months later. Now, you cape for Megan because she went to Instagram, but then now you're saying that why would this lady go to Facebook opposed to going to the authorities?
Exactly.
When she did exactly the same thing that Megan did.
Actually,
now
she's totally different because this is 20-some years where she's bringing up these stuff, and she said, "Oh, I've been paid." This is something totally different. You can't compare that situation with this.
But
These
you
are
have
totally
to understand
two different
that
situations.
it's 20-something. Right, but here's the thing, Wiley, right? It happened 20-something years ago. However, it came back to light when Kenneth got with Nicki Minaj. And once Kenneth got back with Nicki Minaj and they brought up this whole story on his background, now it made this individual relive the situation that had happened 20 plus years ago, because now people is talking about it. And now people are putting out their own narratives. And then you have Nicki that jumped online that stated that they were boyfriend and girlfriend, which that's probably not what really happened with the victim. That's probably not the case, but that's the narrative that Nicki Minaj put out there. You have Tasha K putting a narrative out there. So as this individual that this happened to, she's having to now relive this, and now it's mainstream because Nicki Minaj is not just a regular degular schmegler girl. Nicki Minaj is this huge celebrity, this international celebrity. So now Kenneth Petty now has the same notoriety because he's linked with a Nicki Minaj. And so, like the other caller was saying, when Kenneth got in that situation where he did not register, now it came back to her, to where now she's probably going to be forced to testify, which probably his attorneys or Nicki's attorneys or whoever attorneys or his friends or whoever knows them that knows the situation is probably reaching out to her. And then people say, well, why would they offer her $20,000? Well, they probably think, okay, well, she's not living probably the best of her life. She probably don't have that much money. $20,000 would be a lot of money for somebody that don't really have that much money coming in. Yeah, Nicki Minaj is this millionaire. However, if they can offer you $20,000 and you take that, that's what they're gonna offer you. You get what I'm saying? So because the lady hasn't shown her face, I don't know if this is the real victim or not. But if this is the real victim, he has been tried and he has been convicted of this crime, and he has admitted guilt to this.
And he did,
so,
and he served
now,
his time.
If this is the real
there.
victim,
but again, if you're bringing up
real
bribery,
victim,
and you're bringing up money, if they're offering you money, you bring that to the authorities. Don't bring it to no Facebook with your smoke detector going.
Well,
Well, I don't care about her smoke detectors or not. Maybe that's why they only offer her $20,000.
If they
probably
offer,
feel like she was
ma'am,
already
you
broke
can
and
nip
she
this
had
in
no
the
money.
bud. If someone if you're the one that victimized you, took something from you, raped you, offer you $20 to be silent before you run to Facebook, go to the authorities. That don't make sense to me. I cannot give her a pass if she running to Facebook and not going to the police. Because telling us on Facebook, what are we going to do? We're going to sit here and get a click and a view. That's all we're going to do.
Okay, and you're absolutely right. But guess what? By her going on Facebook now, it's in the mindset of multiple people as opposed to her just running to the authority. People would never know her story. So
They don't care about. They already knew that Kenneth Petty did what he did. That don't make it a way.
No. It's
look
not
stupid.
about knowing that Kenneth Petty did what he did, Wiley. I think the purpose of her going to Facebook is saying that, hey, look, they're trying to give me money to hush me up. So, because if she recant the situation that happened, now Kenneth's record gets cleaned, and now he's able to move around like how he wants to with a Nicki Minaj. Right now he can't because he has to register as a SO for the rest of his life.
But ma'am, what you're
negating
is where's the proof that they offer you money? That's what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing: we won't have the proof. She would have to show that when she has to go to court in February because he didn't register. She's going to have to go back.
She don't have to wait.
Like
but ma'am, let me tell you this: she don't have to wait till February. If you got evidence that they're trying to silence her, she could take that to him today. To the authorities. She don't have to wait till February. He could be locked up today.
You don't know how they tried to offer her the money, though. It could have been a friend. It could have been anybody that sent messages through. I'm quite sure they didn't send her no email or directly send her anything.
Whatever records you have, you can send it to the authorities, and they have the resource to make sure if they are connected. And if they find any type of strand that they are connected to Kenneth Petty or to Nicki, they can file charges. You don't have to wait until February. Because when she get on that stand and she say, if I'm Kenneth Petty lawyer and she saying, hey, he offered me money,
in order for her to say that they are trying to bribe her, she would have to have some type of documentation, some type of documented proof. She has to have proof. So if she does not have any proof, then there's nothing for her to go to the authorities with, because at the end of the day, it is her word against their word. And the first thing the authorities is going to want to know is, where is your proof? Do you have anything? Did somebody send something in your DM? Do you have any type of documentation where there is proof of an alleged bribery? Do you have this person on recording offering you money? You get what I'm saying? So if she does not have that, there's nothing that the authority can do with that, because that's her word against their word. So her putting it on Facebook, I mean, she's just putting it out there. But if she doesn't have any proof, she doesn't have any proof. So she's not going to get any additional charges stacked up against him if there's no documented proof, if there's no paperwork or no paper trail that leads back to Kenneth or Nicki.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in. Thank you. All right, we got a lot of callers in the queue today. So if you all want to be up to the top, you can super chat your way to the top, your last four, but we will get to everybody. So please be patient. I think it's like 10 or 12 calls right now. 4450, keep it short so everybody can be heard. 4450.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
Listen, I agree with the lady who had spoken, I think a caller before this caller, where she said, listen, it sounded like not everybody, people are on her playing games. I understand people are saying about the clout situation, and yes, she did not show her face, but it seems as if though the clout would be given to whomever is interviewing this quote unquote person. We are not talking about a teenage person. We're talking about a grown woman that has children herself, and that is the victim. Y'all, the people need to stop playing these games. If this really is the person, that person should be in witness protection if she was found out, and she needs to call the authorities right away. She should have never even entertained this if this really is what quote unquote happened. I think this is people playing games. This is not a real situation. And if y'all around her playing games, that is very pathetic. In the African American community, we have too much going on, and we have, unfortunately, people that have harmed children, have harmed people, and we sit up here and want to kiki and laugh about foolishness. Take away the fact of Nicki Minaj being a celebrity. If this is what's transpiring, I don't care if she was the second, person that's sitting at the table with Christ. You need to be held at complete value. If this man did his time and he's trying to keep out of, the way, let that man be. He did his time, and, hey, I don't agree with what he did. I wasn't there. I have no idea, but either way, it's a no. But that's who that woman chose. Leave that lady alone. Leave that man alone. Allow them to raise their family and keep on about their life. But it's sounding to me like it's a bunch of games that people are playing. This doesn't sound like no grown woman.
Well, we thank you so very much for you giving your opinion. God bless you, sister. All right, the number is 646-716-8447. We got a lot of callers. I want to get to everybody because the Barbs are, calling in. All right, they are already sending this to Nicki Minaj. They said, Nicki, you should come on Nicki, come on the Wiley Show. You and your husband, let's sit down, let's sit at the table and talk about this. All right, thank you, caller. Okay, 1838 caller, you on air.
Hello, how you doing, Wiley?
I'm doing good.
I know this is a serious topic, so I want to come to your platform in a serious manner. I think too many times we always side with the celebrity because that's the person that we want to relate to based on their craft and their art. But this woman is still a victim here. She's still a woman that's suffering from whatever trauma that she went through with her rape situation. I think we need to be very sensitive and compassionate about that. And even if she didn't take it to the authorities or address it a way that somebody else would address it, but she still is a victim and she still should be heard and respected because of it. And so what I want to say is, at the end of the day, I don't care about the smoke detector or she didn't show her face or anything like that. All I care about is her getting the help and the healing that she needs for her to move on with her life. If Nicki Minaj is doing this, or Nicki Minaj or anybody on her team is doing this to this woman, they need to be prosecuted and accounted for. Because at the end of the day, nobody deserves to be mistreated, especially when they're trying to live their life in a separate way from the spotlight.
But what if it's not true? Because if you're saying that, you take to the authorities and don't be running to the internet. You express yourself online. We don't give a darn what you're saying. What we're gonna say as a blogger and the people, we gonna get a click of the view, get paid and get a coin off of it. So if you are that way, the best thing you can do, baby, is don't go to Mark Zuckerberg platform. You go to the protect and serve, to the federal agents. Okay, you go there. The Department of Justice.
Well, let me ask you this, Wallace. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize. But let me ask you this. Why do we pick and choose who we want to prosecute when it comes to how they express their trauma? Because is we doing the same thing to Jessica Reed, who made these same accusations towards Charlamagne the God? We ain't tell her she shouldn't go through Choke No Joke or these other platforms.
We said the same thing, that she goes to the authorities, and that situation is different, right? He never was charged. This situation, Kenneth Petty was charged, he served time and everything like that. But what she's bringing up this, like, hey, they're offering me money to be silent. Where the proof at, and why are you running the internet? Because again, we're not the po-po. So telling us that they offer it, we're gonna be like, oh, okay, but where your proof? You just can't be saying, oh, Nicki Minaj offered me $20,000 to be silent and your smoke detector going off. The main thing I want to say, I got a question. Did you go to the police about this matter? Because they can handle it. We can't. We just gonna sit here and be entertained by this.
Well, okay, let me ask you this. If y'all want her to show burden of proof, tell Nicki Minaj why she ain't filing a defamation lawsuit if she innocent, or if Kenneth Petty innocent, file a defamation lawsuit on his behalf if they're so innocent of what she's alleging. You can go to the courthouse and file this stuff today. You don't have to just stay silent and not respond. So if she's that innocent, or if they are that innocent, because I want to say they, because they are both involved in this situation, why can't they go to the courthouse and file a defamation lawsuit? Because they are being slandered against by this woman.
I get you what you're saying, but you know the reason why some people don't do that, even if you're out here and you're blatantly lying, because it's a process for defamation of character. You just can't go and do you know how lengthy and how expensive it is? A lengthy process. Cardi B did the same thing. Went into Tasha K. Do you know that's 2 years? Now we're going into the third year into this. That take years to get that off the ground. That ain't no up like that. But in this case, if you're saying that the person that victimized you reached out to you and want to offer you money to hush you up, you can have a better chance shutting that down by somebody filing a defamation of character lawsuit. Because right then and there, what she's describing something criminal and some updated information where your proof goes to the authorities. That's what I'm saying.
I understand that, and you're absolutely right, and that is true. But at the same time, if sometimes people go to the authorities when they're a victim of stuff, and the authorities don't move right away. You know what I mean? There's plenty of shows on like Investigation Discovery channel that had people that went to authorities for crimes that was committed against them, and the police didn't move right away, and it took them being harmed or even death for the police to say, "Oh, we should have did something sooner." So we don't know what this woman has or has not done. We just assume that she hasn't gone to the police yet, just because she went on Facebook. She made it public. We don't know what she's doing behind the scenes. We don't know what she did before she got on her Facebook platform. We just, you know what I'm saying, we just making a snap judgment based on what we have the evidence at the moment. We don't know everything, so we can't just assume something that's not true.
All right. Well, we thank you so very much for calling in. We got a lot of callers.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, you too. Thank you. Please subscribe. All right. 4713. We got a lot of callers, so we're just gonna keep it short. 4713.
Hey, Wiley. So I have a question. So, like a couple callers before, one of the ladies said something about the woman that's the victim or whatever will have to go to court in February when he has to go to court. Why would she have to go to court for that?
Right. They're just assuming that because she don't have to go to court for that. That's Kenneth Petty will have to go to court to answer to the violation, whatever. She don't have to go to court for that. They're just assuming that. That's what I'm like.
Right.
Why
He's already been right. She's the reason or whatever is the reason why he's a sex offender now. So I mean, she's got her justice from the system,
Absolutely.
I guess, or whatever. Right. So my thing is, I'm confused as to why everyone is up there saying, well, she's a victim and she deserves that for her. Yeah, she can say what she wants to say. We're not saying that she isn't a victim. The thing is, like we're trying to say, if you have, just like you just said, if you have evidence of your abuser reaching out to you years and years, you know, from when it happened right now, trying to like pretty much bribe you and stuff. And then you said Nicki Minaj, who was like one of the biggest female rappers in the world, offer you $20,000. Why wouldn't we sit up there and question some type of receipt? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, it doesn't make sense. And it's like nobody is trying to diminish her saying that, I mean, that nothing happened to her. What we're saying is you cannot make an allegation like that and not have some type of concrete proof. You know what I mean? We're not saying that she can't say what she wants to say. She can't tell her story, anything. No, we're not saying that. We're just saying for you to make an accusation like that, you have to have some sort of proof. You know what I mean? And then with you not having proof and you saying that it's up, people are going to say you might potentially be clout chasing or something. You know what I mean? So like I said, it's not that we're trying to diminish her story or anything. It's just, baby girl, you cannot say something like that and not have no type of receipt to back it up.
Facts. Well, thank you so very much, brother, for that statement. Thank you. All right. The number is 646-716-8447. We are live. Okay. 8018, caller, you on the air. 8018. 8018. Hello.
I am not put water in.
Hello. 8018. You got to be ready. 8375. 8375.
Hey, Wiley.
Hey.
Hey, I just sitting back and I'm listening. I'm looking at the comments and I'm listening. And I honestly feel like the story is made up. I think the caller, the recording is made up. Because at this point, the victim has nothing else to do with this man. He was sentenced over 20-something years ago. Justice has been served. The only reason Nicki's husband is going to court is because he failed to register in the state of California. Is that correct?
That was correct. He did not register, and so he got to answer that court with the reason why. So his attorneys is handling that situation. They have a court hearing in February.
So what would it benefit Nicki or anyone in her crew or him or his crew to contact the victim at this point?
At this point, right. It'd be foolish for Nicki to do that. That would be stupid for them to do that, because that will mess it up.
It would be very.
That's stupid. And I don't think Nicki Minaj is stupid. Because, baby, that sounds stupid. 20,000. Oh, you hush up.
$20,000. $20,000.
I'm just saying. This story don't sound right to me. And
I'm telling you, it don't sound right. It ain't right. This story is made up. Somebody made this story up, and they put it together with enough pieces to make it sound almost believable. But like, again, you're playing with someone's life.
Yes.
Because what if Nicki them think that this is actually the victim talking here? Only Nicki them know they ain't offered nobody no damn $20,000. Nicki knows when you hear a lie, you just about know a lie when you hear it. $20,000, come on. This story is all made up. And it's all for click and views.
Right.
I don't think that this is the victim. This is not the victim. This is not the victim. But like I said, somebody know enough of the story to put it together to make it seem almost believable.
Because something that woman said, she said, we was at the bus stop and I live down the street. So you mean to tell me he dragged you from down the street to the bus stop, raped you, then you went to school? That don't make sense to me. Something ain't making sense. Maybe this not the, maybe this is a catfish person. Maybe this is a catfish person.
The whole story is catfish, honey. It's a cat and a fish. There's a whole cat. It just amazes me how people sit back and come up with stories, man. I'm just be like, but you just don't understand. You playing with somebody's life. What if this is not the victim? You just put the victim in a very vulnerable situation. And somebody was like, why didn't she go to the police? Why you coming to social media with it? Why should she go to the police? Hell, she said the marshals came to her. Why she need to go to the police? They came to her, right?
Right, as she say, the marshals came. That's what she say.
Honey, let me tell you, I don't even have to be a psychic to see what's going on right here. You ain't even got to be a psychic to see what's going on. This is, somebody needs some money. Somebody needs some money. And they took the opportunity to use Nicki at this, because she's at home, cradling her newborn son, breastfeeding, trying to be a wife and a mother, while trying to balance her career.
Right.
Nicki, she get on Instagram every now and again and show her family, because I don't do that fan stuff. Ain't nobody's fan. She get on Instagram and she show her family love occasionally. Tell me what have Nicki Minaj done to these people in the industry that they feel like they got to constantly attack her? Tell me that.
They trying to take the queen down, but you can't take the queen down. She's solidified. Thank you so much, man, for calling in.
Thank you, Wiley. I love your show.
Please subscribe too. Thank you. Tell your friends and family about us.
Wiley, I'm already subscribed. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Let me go. Right here. 8018 calling on the air. She that's the Nicki Minaj.
Hey, Wiley, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Hey, Wiley, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay. I understand from both sides. I understand what people are saying in defense, and that people are not that it's not that people are against her. I think that they're against her coming out once again after so many years. Now, a lot of callers did say this. You have to take into consideration that Nicki announced that she was doing a special, and that I think that she was she on a billboard? She's on something. And then there is a friend of Kevin Petty's. It came out that there's a friend of Kevin Petty's that asked him to put him on with Nicki. And this was also somebody that also liked Nicki back in the day. They all grew up together. And suddenly when he like brushes him off, and I'm just using my terminology, brushes him off, that's when this lady reappears. There is no way. Wiley, you said it best. If someone is harassing you, and this is for anyone, why keep it to yourself? Why not go to the authorities? If someone is trying to bribe you to say that this did not happen with a measly $20,000, hell, my car costs a little over $50,000. So I'm not trying to be funny. $20K is not a lot of money for somebody to say, oh, I'm just going to hush my mouth, whether they're in the hood or not. People are not as dumb as we think they are. They are not as dumb as we think they are. They're really not. Why would you bring something like this to the internet? This isn't the first time that this person, and we don't know if this is her really or not, that came to the internet out of nowhere and said and brought this back to light. The man, I'm not for rape. I'm totally against that. You know, if you do something like that, you know, you have to pay your debt to society. And he did that. You know, we can't judge this man. We can't. And we also really don't know what happened unless the documents are once again put back out for us to see. We really don't know, because they were also saying at one point that they dated.
All right.
So how can we really sit down and judge this man?
Mm-hmm. Some in the sauce.
Really, how can you judge him? He's paid his debt to society. What more do you want?
One more. Because
once again, you have to keep taking into consideration that they supposedly dated. If you don't see what's in those records, then you really, all we're doing is assuming.
Right.
But for her to come out and say that she was being bribed and not take it to the police, that's the dumbest, excuse me, I am about to cash app you, but that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. If someone is harassing you, you're a victim of a crime, such as rape, if you're a victim, period, and you are being harassed by the person that victimized you, and you're not going to take the authorities up on, okay, well, look, we can move you to another state. And she said out of her mouth that she didn't want to go because she didn't want to leave her family. But so you're going to continue to be victimized. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. That's all I want to say. Everybody has an opinion. You know, I understand both sides, but that's some dumb shit to do.
Right.
All right. Now give me 5 minutes and I'm going to cash app you.
All right. Thank you. And y'all follow suit with that, because this video probably won't be monetized. We said a whole lot of heavy. We said a whole lot of heavy stuff in this live. So the cash app is on the screen. Okay. All right. $ Marquise Wiley 2A is right on the screen right there. And the mods will drop it for us. So thank you. 4065, call you on air. Yes. 4065, you live on air.
90 seconds.
Hello?
Hey, you live on air. What you got to say?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
I'm talking on the phone.
Yes, I can hear you.
You hear me?
Yes. Yes. Go ahead. What's you want to say about the subject? I can hear you. Go ahead.
I thought it was me.
Yes, you. 4065.
He come on and stay in the apartment because it's going to cool right back on.
60 seconds.
Ma'am, you live on the show. Go ahead. What's your statement? Hello?
That ain't her.
It is you. What you mean? I'm going to go to the next one. 4065. Hello? Okay.
Hello.
Yes. Speak, ma'am. Do you hear me?
Hello.
Yes. Go ahead, sister. You live on the Wiley Show.
Ma'am, do you hear me? Hello. Yes. Go ahead. Sister. You're live on the Wiley Show.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Let me go to this other caller. 9867, you live on
10
air.
seconds.
9867, you live on air. Hey.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it's your favorite caller. But yeah, so this Nicki Minaj thing, honestly, Nicki brought this all to herself. Now I consider myself a sophisticated barb. I'm not one of those gung-ho fans, but I love me some Nicki Minaj. But I do think that the choices that she made in her spouse is why she's getting this backlash. Nicki could have had anybody she wanted, and unfortunately, she went with a jailbird who had so many kids, who was in jail because of a rape case. Now, people who are rapists or sex offenders should be vilified, because at the end of the day, they know what they did, right? I do not excuse rapists. I do not excuse sex offenders. If you did what you did, can't stand 10 toes down with everything you're going to have moving forward. With that said, I hate when people victim blame the young lady, because no one has to go through that, the thinking or the mental impact it probably had on the victim itself. Granted, Nicki didn't have to deal with this if she had not dealt with a husband who had this type of history. She could have easily found someone with a clean record,
right.
But she chose this, right? Anytime you choose your spouse, whatever the image of that spouse is going to rely on you, right? And that's why politicians are very clear who they with as a spouse. You got to think about whoever your spouse is a reflection of you. Nicki should have known from game that she's dealing with this type of man is going to be a horrible situation throughout her whole entire life. Like, everything that she worked hard for doesn't even matter, because only people going to think about is your husband raped a girl, your husband's a sex offender, and you can't justify his behavior. You know why? Nicki wasn't there. It was only the girl and the guy, and whatever happened, he went to jail. Okay? So why people are saying, why we keep going on, he paid his dues. No, people need to know you're a sex offender. You violated somebody, so you need to be violated back. I want to know who the sex offenders in my community are. Why? So you need to pay the price, however long it is. Now, paying off the victim $20K, I would say, on the grand scheme of things, $20K may seem like a lot to a lot of people. Okay, it's nothing. So I don't think giving her $20K should silence her, or I don't think Nicki even did that. I don't see the point of Nicki doing that right now. She could have did this last year before they got married. For her to come up with the story now, it does seem like every time when Nicki is coming out with a new album or new documentary, something's always tainting her career. Something always happens to Nicki. It's like weird, but it happens at the right time every time she's trying to move forward. But she can't be mad at this. Like you signed that name to be Mrs. Petty. So you took on all his burden by being Mrs. Petty. So you can't complain. If it was so bad for Nicki, she wouldn't have married him. She married him despite remember, she went on Queen Radio and dissed her fans. After we disrespected and say, why you with this dusty? Why you with this bum? Like, you could do better. And what did she tell us? Mind your business. I love who I love. Like, going in. But we see, and I do think that Nicki suffers from Stockholm syndrome. I do believe that she went through something in her life, because it seems like racism is all around her, from her brother to her husband. And I'm so happy she did not have a baby girl. I'm happy she had a son, because I just don't trust the husband at all. Okay. And honestly, he got the bag. He got the bag. Like, I hope her prenup is tight, because California is a very liberal state. But honestly, he upgraded and she definitely downgraded. So I don't feel sorry for her. I do feel sorry for the victim, and hopefully the victim is safe moving forward, because no one wants to relive the same events that happened so many years ago, and then people not believing you of what you're going through.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling in. I would say
you're welcome. Thank you so much, Wiley.
Let me see if this other caller will come on. 4065. 4065. Okay. Oh wait, let's do this.
That's right. Bringing you the best in politics and celebrity gossip. This is the Wiley Show.
Y'all need to listen to that, okay?
Don't stop. Keep it going.
All right, so we are doing the after show on Stationhead. Link on Stationhead. We are definitely doing after show on Stationhead. We are literally number 9 on the chart, so we're gonna keep this momentum going. So if anybody is out here listening, we'll be live on Stationhead. I will drop the link in the comments right now. If you are in the chat and you want to listen to us on Stationhead, also too, if you want to give, this video will probably not be monetized. You can go to $ Marquise Wiley 28, the Cash App. We also have the PayPal as well. Okay, if you want to do check or money order, you can also do it, send it to our PO box that we have as well. So I want to say special shout out to all of y'all that's out here. Special shout out to Nicki. I want to give a special shout out to my moderators for coming through, and also for sending this video to Nicki. So hopefully Nicki Minaj was saying this message. All right, so we're doing after show on Stationhead. Meet us over there. We want to, pretty much break some things down with my radio and the shape in the neighborhood talk. I want to talk about that a little bit more, as well as we can talk about the Nicki Minaj, but in a more unfiltered manner. Okay, so I will see you all on Stationhead. Okay, y'all got it? Is y'all click on it and everything like that? I will see y'all on Stationhead. Make sure you all subscribe to our station and follow us over there, and subscribe to the channel. Now we're close to our goal of 20,000 subscribers, so we need you to help us by subscribing to our show if you enjoy it, and we thank you so very much. Got to go. This is a busy day of content, and I want to thank you to the producers that have been showing us so much love. Okay, thank you, and we will see y'all. And thank you to the 300 plus of you all that took time to watch our show. Be blessed. See you on Stationhead. Bye.